Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and today I have a video of the NEXPOW 5000 amp jump starter, portable jump starter. These are nice alternatives to the big heavy lead acid ones. They still have plenty of power, and this one is boasting a 5000 amp. A lot of the name brand ones are 2000, and then a lot of them, the newer ones are 3 to 4000. So then the 5 and 6000. I think really even the 5,000 is a sweet spot. I mean, that's probably more than you'll ever need. It can do up to, I think, 10-liter engine diesels, 12-liter gas or something. I don't even know if engines go that big. At least the ones I have worked with never go that big. So I'll go ahead and take this off so we can get a better look at it here before we open it. So this is the Q12 NEXPOW. Pretty solid, just design from. I like how this one's shaped. It's got basically everything that any good jump starter should have. It's a power bank. Obviously, it does the jump starting. It has the protection, reverse protection, overheat, all that. You got your flashlight and everything. Basically, you can start anything that has a 12-volt battery. I will show hooking it up to my car and starting it, because surprisingly, a lot of people that buy these say, like, why didn't you show that? So I guess a lot of people, haven't used the big heavy lead acid ones. So you might have just bought this first time just to keep in your car or something. So if you've never jump started a car before, I'll show how to do that a little later here once we get things. So right off the bat, this is already an advantage. You're getting a hard shell case. Surprisingly, I think like some of the other ones, they don't even come with a case. Some brands make you pay separately for this case to get a nice hard shell form-fitted case. A lot of other models or brands, they give you like a little drawstring pouch, which will work, but it's not as nice as this with the carrying handle and better protection. So right off the bat, this is a pretty solid package. So get the jump starter itself. This one's a little bit longer. It's a little bit thinner, but it's a little bit longer. And it may be because of the 5,000 amps. It probably has some more cells in here. It is definitely heavier than almost every jump starter I've used. It's not, again, when I say heavy, nowhere near the weight of a big giant lead acid. It's a couple pounds, but nothing crazy, very easy, maneuverable to get up over the hood and lay somewhere on the engine. But I think it was, the listing said 24,000 milliamp hours, so probably why there's a little bit of weight to this, just a lot of cells inside here. You have all your specs. You need to contact NEXPOW, here you go. And this is telling you, I always put positive on first and take the positive off last. But it's just a good tip that I go by. It seems to work, and I think that's how you're supposed to do it. This tells you all the lights and functions. You also have this force start function, and they have a nice red button so you know what you're doing. I've used other ones that wasn't clear, so this one's done right. So again, status lights, telling you what everything means on your jumper cables. But that force start function is nice. I'll get into that a little bit more too. That is when you have a completely dead battery. Some of these don't recognize that, so this will put out the peak power and give that battery a little bit of a charge, and then give it the full amount of strength that this thing can output to start the battery. But we'll get there in a moment. I like to cover all the specs and show this. You never know, someone might have this in their car and they lost the manual, and you need to know something. You can scroll through this video, the timeline, and So there's that. So you're charging, which I like that it's Type-C. At this point, everything should be Type-C now. There's nothing wrong with having Type-A ports, but I like when it's is capable of C. Now, since this is C to A, I'm thinking this isn't like 100 watt or 60 watt, like insane quick charging. I think it's more like the older version of quick charge. It's probably like under 20 watts or something. I'm not sure, but usually when they're like 65 watt quick charge or 100 watt quick charge, they're advertised as that. And I didn't see that with this, but you know, realistically, you get multiple jump starts with one of these to go from full to low. So if you're just jump starting it once, probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's fully charged again anyway. And they hold their charge for years, so there's not going to be any issue there. This is a 12 volt adapter female socket. This will plug into this DC 12 volt DC out on this, and these are nice because if you have a dash cam or a radar detector or some device that has a 12 volt male plug, you can just do this outside of your vehicle. You don't have to get in it and do it. You can just do it anywhere you have this and power up that device to test it out or do what you need to. And the last thing, which is, you know, they got this all tightly packed in here. Pretty nice cables. See, this one's a little bit longer. I mean, they're long enough definitely to reach over your battery. Solid clamps. Got a good bit of strength to them. Now, I would like to see this negative be a little bit longer. I've had other ones that do this. I don't know if they do it for a reason. Maybe they think that it's less likely that you'll make this, you know, short. But these always have that protection that they won't short or spark. Maybe that's why. But either way, I think that should be a little longer. But no big deal, really. And so again, once this is plugged into the unit, you have some things here. I think that's low current. Reverse polarity. Standby means you're hooked up and ready to go, and then green is when you have it on the battery and it detects it and you're ready to go. So this one actually has a little dust cover on it, so obviously this can't plug in. This goes off to the side, and then you got your notched key port, so it can only go in one way because it's keyed. And again, here is the, if you can hear that, this is the force start. So to explain that is whenever your battery is completely dead, not under regular circumstances, just if it's a little low, hooking it up and plugging it up should work, then it'll start. If you try to start the battery and this seemingly doesn't work, if you press the force start on here, again, it'll put out the max power, and you let it sit on there for maybe 30 seconds or so, and it should maybe even charge that battery up a little bit just so it has a little bit of voltage in it, and then this should have enough power to do it. These are very nice to have on a jump starter. And you see this one's fully charged out of the box. I like the indicator. So the Type-C will be your input for charge. It's like a 3.0 and our standard 2.0 Type A, and then this. So you can see the light's blue. We have no error lights. So this means everything's hooked up, there's power, and then you just turn green whenever you're hooked up to the battery, which will be the next part that I'll show. Just show you how it works, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so you can see I have the NEXPOW, everything's set up, it's plugged in, just how you would use it normally, but just showing it connected to the car. Yeah, we have a blue status light right now, so I always put the positive on first. And these are pretty good clamps. They really get a hold of the terminal. You don't have to worry about it only going on halfway or coming back off. You can see though I like a little bit of a longer cable because you don't have too much room here. And it's really bright out right now. You can probably see that middle light turned green. I can hear it, the relays and everything clicking. My battery's not completely dead, so I don't need to use that force start function right now. But whenever I start the vehicle, you should hear it be a really strong turnover because this is putting out way more power than what this engine even needs to turn over, and this is a V8, so I'll go ahead and start it. And you can probably hear it starts up real nice and quick, gives out plenty of power, and it's that simple. So once it's all ready to go, just take the negative off, then the positive. It's no longer ready, it still has connection, but it's not ready because it's not hooked to the battery, and it's that simple, then you can put it away. So, yeah, it's a pretty quick process. Again, it's nice not having a giant lead acid battery. Just lay this somewhere in your engine bay, get to your cables, and that's as simple as that. Okay, so that is the NEXPOW Q12. I would definitely give it a look. Again, the 5,000 amps, really nice. Everything here is pretty solid. You know, you got good display here. It tells you everything you need to know. Included case, nice form factor, the force start function. Always check them out on Amazon because you never know, there could be a sale or a coupon or percentage off. So again, check NEXPOW out on Amazon. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.